Alright, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? We're doing a quick video. I'm going to see if I can zoom in with these gloves on. So what we're doing here is, this is my brother's Suburban. The OEM quick disconnects for the heater hoses, usually, after a certain amount of time will start to leak or start to fracture, usually due to bad motor mounts on these ones. So what you do is you cut them off and you put replacement connectors on there. Well, the first two, the ones we put on there have broken again because he had bad motor mounts and due to the shortened hose. We're talking about half an inch to an inch too short, just enough to kind of, imagine it connected and it's kind of, yanking on it a little bit. And so the two connectors split in half. Let me get those. This is the second time I've worked on it, but basically you've got your quick disconnect. It connects on there and the hose is obviously connected on there and hose clamped, and then it just usually breaks just like that. So because we don't know the integrity of these things back here, these are the tri-way connectors for the basically going to and from the rear heater. And as you can see, the left side is black, the right side is white. The white side is going to be a driver's side, and the black is going to be the passenger side. So let's zoom out. So one thing we're going to do is, if I got all the stuff here, let me make sure my phone doesn't fall. Again, this is the driver's side. As you can see, it's kind of a 90-degree type deal. The passenger side, obviously it's flipping that way, but as you can see, it kind of angles back a little bit. So, and then the connectors, it would both connect to here to the engine and here to the engine. Here is the specific, this is a 2009 Chevrolet Suburban 1500 5.3, and the normal part number you'll find for this would be like 800-403. That's what's going to be in the aisle at most of your parts stores. This supply goes for an 800-916, and this was pretty difficult to track down, mostly because the parts clerks aren't quite familiar. Actually, my home store is having a little trouble. But anyway, about a section of hose, because we're going to add in some hose. We're going to use these as even just adding this in will give us enough space. So also some of the hose was clamped by a vice grip, the original one. So I'm gonna make sure we get some strong hose. We have new clamps. Got our full strength coolant. He had this. There's still there's about this much left in there. So I'm not going to record this probably, but I will show you the progress. The biggest thing with these connectors, I will give you a few tips here before we get off here, is so let's say we do the black one first. What you're looking at here, guys, is what's supposed to happen is you're supposed to squeeze these little ears, which, by the way, make sure you're doing this in a warm environment or else just kiss these things goodbye. But when you do, what happens when you squeeze the ears, this little part here lifts out and allows you to go past this ridge right here. That's all it is. And down here, these are the actual aluminum hoses that go down to the heater. Those plug in right here. So the key to getting it off is to kind of get yourself in there and kind of do kind of a squeeze and a wiggle to pop both out. But usually if they're aged, they are going to give you tons of trouble and they're not going to release. So this is what you have to do. Get yourself, you want to have, if you have a buddy to help, it's even better, but get yourself a flathead screwdriver, go in here while it's connected, obviously, and I'm not going to do it on this. You're going to bend up. And it's okay to even break it if you're going to replace it. But if you bend up, kind of get it off of there, and then come to the bottom side, you'll need two of these sometimes because you have to leave it in there. But that's usually you have to do it, or you just get in here and just break that thing and then it pulls off. So These can be a pain in the butt. I wish they weren't plastic. That would be slick if they were aluminum. That would eliminate this issue altogether, but hi-ho Dorman. And anyways, so that's a quick... and obviously what I'm going to do, I'm going to get in here and remove the black one and the white one. I'm going to keep them on hand for spare parts for this vehicle because I don't think they're leaking, but they've probably been under stress with the yanking going on. So we're going to put new ones on there, save those. So I'm going to do my best to get those things off of there. I might even put a heat source on there for a little bit because the warmer it is, the more pliable these little ears are. And the colder they are, the less they're, or the older they are, the less they're actually going to move when you depress the ears. So there you go. We'll and what we're going to do on the hose side is, well, like I said, we're going to add in that, and first of all, right here is where it was clamped, so I'm going to replace that much hose. That's why I got so much. So I'm going to replace that, add that male-to-male fitting, and then just give myself plenty so it can be up here, because before it was kind of like just barely poked on there. And same thing with the other side. It's hiding from me currently. Here we go. There you go. So yeah, you can even see this one. See how short that is? Just barely. It's barely reaching. This one's the one from back here. Same thing. So we're going to relieve all the stress there. This should be a part of the engine that never even moves ever. So the fact that it was getting stressed on, these models are hugely prone for motor mount issues. Usually I believe it's the passenger side first because of the way the engine torques, and then the driver's side gets swollen up and messed up too. So anyway, that's it. We'll get back together on the recording, or the once the repair is done, and get this thing rock and rolling. All right, we were able to extract these ones were new a few years ago, and even though the O-rings, there's a little bit of plastic bits that I found removing this one. This one came off pretty clean. Anyway, no matter what, these are spares now. So before I sock them away, I'll make sure these are the right packages. Those are good to go. The next thing we're working on now is our extra lengthened hoses. These two boxes, the 800-916s. If your parts store says we don't have them, say look in the back. So they're not on the aisle. I had to go to 3 different places before they figured it out. Good Lord. These are different than the normal ones. So those are we're gonna go boom. We're gonna go boom, and then onto the original, depending on where we're going to clip, and I'll show you that right now. On this one, it was clamped right here pretty hard, and so we're gonna slice it here, which is gonna fall right about there. So we're gonna be mindful of our little thing here. Install that male-to-male connection, and then have new heater hose. So this is all going to be cut. And on this one, it went down right here. So we're going to cut here. So we have plenty of heater hose. We're going to cut what we just saw. We're going to stick this in there with the clamp, cut our section to length, install our new female fitting with a new hose clamp. What we're using here is Glide, which is it's a silicone-based grease that is wonderful for many, many applications, automotive. I couldn't get any in the smaller fittings on the 3-way fittings you just saw there, these ones. So what I used was a spray, and here it is. Easter eggs in the vet. This is what I used to spray in there. So you want a silicone spray and a silicone grease. These are some of the mechanics' favorite tools here. You know, cleaning, as long as this isn't too caustic. And then after you've cleaned, you're properly lubricating things back together for long life. And then, of course, you got your grease and oils and whatever. So that's it. We're going to put this thing together. Probably tomorrow we're going to finish. And appreciate everybody watching. Quick little correction here. This I can't remember how much of this I filmed last night, but the 800-916 fits onto the driver's side fitting. As you can see, it's a little bit bigger. And then the 800-403 goes on the driver's side, which here you go, you can look at it right here. So this one goes with that one goes with that one. So anyways, I'm gonna finish up getting our lines lengthened and get everything sealed up, and then go ahead and add some coolant. Okay, we're all set here. I'm not completely happy with this, can't really see it, but the black, that kind of isn't like centered, it's kind of leaning one direction, but pretty confident the O-rings will, will seal. I added some extra line here. It's probably a little bit too much on this side, but I'm just gonna put it just like that. And you want to double check, make sure the hose clamps aren't gonna dig into any of the hoses. Like I said, this isn't ideal, but we're just trying to make sure it's gonna not leak and stay put for a while. This white one here, boy, this thing went on really tough. I can't even spin it. You're supposed to be able to kind of spin the fitting. So who knows? These Dorman products aren't perfect. You might want to go with AC Delco with this type of stuff, but it just is what it is. So we're gonna add some coolant, get it all bled down, and move on to the next project. All right, got her fired up. Doing my best to bleed it down. I don't have a vacuum filler, so I'm just, luckily this is the highest point. If you ever have big time issues, you can jack up, like say you jack up this side of the vehicle. So this could be the even more higher point. But as you can see, coolant that all spilled on there before is kind of burning off. We're gonna get it all filled up, get the cap on, and do a big test drive, pressure test, and get her done.